Okay, number 6 is very similar to number 5, except this time we're not told an initial population. Instead, we're given 2 points, and we'll need to solve a system of equations. We will do that by using a matrix, or at least that's how I'm going to do it. You could absolutely solve it by hand, but I like to make my life easier when given the opportunity. So I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to integrate this function, which is k times t to the 2/3 minus t to the 1/2, same as the square root right there. We are integrating this with respect to t, and so we will get t, instead of 2/3, we will get 5/3 when we add 1. We need to divide by 5/3, which is multiplying by 3/5, and we still have the k out front. So k times 3/5 times t to the 5/3 minus t 1/2 becomes 3/2 when you add 1. Divide by 3/2 is multiplying by 2/3, and then we get our plus c right there. And we don't know what c is, but this is equal to our population function, big P of t, or little p maybe, I don't know. It's not a position function, that's a population function. So we need to plug in our 2 points. We know that after 4 days, the population has reached 300. And so we're going to say 300 equals, we're going to just plug stuff in now. We have k, we don't know what that is, but we have 3/5. We have a t value for the 300 size is 4, because it's 4 days. So we're going to get times 4 to the power of 5/3 right there. Plus, lies, not plus, sorry, I can't undo that, there we go, minus 2/3, our t value again is 4, to the power of 3/2 plus c. That's our equation right there. Let's rewrite this a little bit by taking this minus 2/3, 4 to the 3/2, and adding it to the constant term on the left there, that 300. So we're going to get 300 plus 2/3 times 4 to the 3/2 equals k times 3/5 times 4 to the 5/3 plus c. I'm aligning things to get it in the proper order for my matrix. Now let's write our second equation with our second point. We know after 7 days, population is 475. And so we're going to get 475 equals k times 3/5 times 7 to the 5/3 minus 2/3 times 7 to the 3/2 plus c. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add that little 2/3 times 7 to the 3/2 to the other side. So we're going to get 475 plus 2/3 times 7 to the 3/2 equals k times that 3/5 times 7 to the 5/3 plus c. So this is a little messy, but it's okay. It's nothing we can't handle. So we're going to enter these pieces into our matrix now. And I'm going to type them in with those coefficients. Again, you can simplify it ahead of time, but you don't need to. So I'm just going to type them in on the calculator screen. Just make sure you use parentheses when you need to, and think about order of operations. But you should end up with the following matrix. If we're doing a k column, a c column, and an equals column, you should get... So then, if you type it in exactly as I typed it there, notice I used all the same syntax I'm using on the calculator, so you can take a look at how you type it compared to how I type it. I'm using as few parentheses and everything as possible, but it is totally correct there. I can pretty much assure you that. But you should end up with those numbers in that bottom matrix down there. And now we want to go ahead and do a reduced row echelon form on this matrix to find our k and c values. So when you do the ref on your matrix, you should end up with k equaling 19.526 and c equaling 187.246. K will be the top number and c will be the bottom number because we entered our k column first and then our c column, and that's corresponding to that decision there. Now we're not done. We want to know how large the population will be after 10 days. So now we plug these values in. And at this stage we have no choice really but to round K, and C. So I'm just going to round to 3 decimal places like that. But now we're just plugging into our equation. So we're going to get our K value, 19.526, and we're going to multiply that by 3/5, and we're going to multiply that by, let's see, 10 to the 5/3 minus 2/3, so minus 2 over 3 times 10 to the 3/2. I should do this. Notice I went back and changed that exponent in case you're on an older calculator that doesn't give you the actual exponent. So times 2/3 times 10 to the power of 3/2. Notice I am closing my exponents this time with parentheses because you should. You might not need to, but I'm going to do it anyways. And then plus our C value, so plus that 187.246. So now that big, long, ugly, messy blob right there should be telling us our P of 10, the size of the population after 10 days. So plug it in just like that, and you should get... So assuming you typed all that in correctly, you should end up with the population after 10 days being 709.854. Assuming I didn't goof up how I typed it in. But that's what I got. What did you get?